Good evening, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points, the interview podcast show where I bring on content creators of all sizes and learn a little bit more about them. I'm your host, Irisu, and today's guest is Gaitsnipe, a Binturong Vtuber who, well, is very rare to see in the community. They have a lot to say about themselves, and their journey getting here is very entertaining. As you watch this podcast, if you enjoy it, please give it a like or a 5-star rating. And on YouTube, subscribe. A little note for this episode, I forgot to ask Gate for their question for the next interviewee. Don't worry though, they got back to me, and the next interview will have that question included. As always, I will see you next time. Take care now. Good evening, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points. I'm your host, Irisu, and across the table from me today is Gate. Hello,
Uh,
Gate.
hello.
I completely
Hi.
lost my train of thought.
No, I have that effect on people. Don't worry. It's Valentine's Day while we're recording this, after all.
Indeed, indeed. Well, wait a minute. Is it Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's the 14th.
Where in the
Oh wait, no, it's the
world?
13th. You
I
know
was
what?
gonna say.
You know what? It's White Day somewhere. I don't know.
White Day is actually next month on March
Fuck.
14th. Yeah, I
I
know,
don't.
it's
I'm.
wild.
What do you think I am? Some kind of weeb? I
I'm a
don't fucking know this
weeaboo,
shit.
so what a pleasant start to this interview. Gate,
Wonderful.
welcome on to Poison
Hello.
Points.
God damn it.
Gate, you are a Binturong VTuber.
That
You
is correct.
stream over at twitch.tv/Gaitsnipe, and I'll make sure to have that on the screen and in the description below, wherever you're watching or listening to this from. Gate, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you do as far as being a streamer goes?
Well, I'm one of those self-proclaimed variety streamers. Although it doesn't really necessarily feel like I do a whole lot of variety because I primarily play video games. I'll
Hmm.
do an occasional stream where I have on a guest that I just like hit up and like, hey, you want to watch some old shit with me? And sometimes they're like, yeah. And then, well, actually, most of the time it's been yeah. But anyway, we go through and we watch like different points within what I call like internet history. Like
Hmm.
the most recent one that we did was with Scarlet of Creepshow. I had her on and we watched and went over like different types of puppet media, like talking about how like puppet media has gone through like the shows, how it's like kind of like evolved into more of a mainstream thing. Like,
Okay.
it used to be kind of like a bit of a niche thing, like, only for children, and
Hmm.
then it started evolving into, like, daytime preteen comedy, some, like, adult comedy stuff, things like that.
I mean, I would say that doing that type of content alone guarantees your slot as a variety streamer. I mean, you don't like dedicate yourself to one game all of the time or one form of media. You hit all of those points that that's a variety streamer in my eyes.
Uh, I know, it's just, like, sometimes I bring it up, so people are just like, "Oh, you're a variety streamer. What's the one type of game you always play all the time?" And I'm just like,
that's
"RPGs."
that's a dedication. You hit them all.
I like to play different games as well, and I also do, challenge runs as well too,
Oh
where I
yes.
just, like, I make up something on the spot, and I'm just like, "You know what? Let's make this game harder to play."
Yeah, you speed run on occasion. I saw you speed running Chris Tales the other day.
Yes, Chris Sales so far is the one game I'm dedicating to try to learn the speedrun to because I absolutely fucking hate that game.
Out of spite, you want to learn it.
Out of spite, it's pure spite.
I'm tempted to ask because I asked you in chat on stream, what is it about the game that you really dislike, like that brings you to that point?
Okay, so for a little bit of context, I saw the release trailer of Chris Tales. I got really excited about it because it looked so beautiful. art is usually like the first thing that gets me. I'm not
Mhm.
a ray trace, hyper realistic, everything needs to look super awesome kind of Bearcat, you know?
Mhm.
Um, if you have a unique or niche enough art style, which Chris Tales, if you don't know, is has this like beautiful, almost stained glass kind of stylization to it when you like look at the animations. And I played the demo and I like the demo. The demo introduced really interesting concepts. And then I bought the full game and I played it and something just clicked. It was At first, it was like something felt a bit off, but I'm like, "Oh, you know what? This is probably just the pre-game. This is probably just the beginning of the game. It's
Mhm.
probably gonna go away." And then I kept going later and later, and the fights kept feeling more like a slog, kept feeling slower. And then some of the dialogue just started becoming, like, annoying, like, it was grating on my nerves. And then some of the things where it's like the characters keep doing like little pop-ups of what to say, and I'm just like, "Okay, you can stop." Like it had potential, and you can see where like some points can be fixed, but it just doesn't. It never fixes it.
Mhm.
Especially because it commits the cardinal sin of introducing a character whose entire mechanics are based around like animal capturing for your abilities and skills
Mm.
towards the penultimate section of the game. So it's essentially asking you to go all the way back and to do everything all over again just so you can collect these skills.
Ah, that sucks.
It's and you know what? There's an achievement tied to it. So
So
even if you just wanted to play the new character, first off, you have to power her up by going to capture all these monsters, and then you have to you have to do it all for the achievement.
so
It's exhausting.
100%ing is a huge pain.
It I wouldn't say it's a huge pain, it's just a slog.
I see.
A huge pain would be like, I don't know, something like Dead Space's, 1 difficulty achievement where you have the 1 difficulty where you can only save, like, 3 times the entire game.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I've heard of those, yes.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
can't reload at checkpoints, you can only reload at save points, so you have to be, like, really good and really careful and planned out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's at least it's more annoying. It's like you said, it like fringes on like it really gets on your nerves the entire time, and it never gets like that demo feel that you felt.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that's exactly it, it's kinda like, you play a short bit of the demo that they give you, and it's like, "Yeah, okay, cool, this is awesome, this feels good." And then you play the full game and you're like, "Oh, that's it. That was all the satisfaction.
Thank you, game. Awesome.
Thanks, awesome."
Well, hopefully, I don't know how dedicated you are to achieving a certain place on the leaderboards, whether that's first or third, whatever you want. Hopefully, you do improve and you can uh, take a good time if that's what you so desire.
Yeah, I am aiming for first. A
Okay.
lot of the problem is that the speedrun requires, a lot of item duplication,
Mm.
so you have to be, like, really fast and really careful about that how that runs. And
What's
then
the
it's also
fastest time?
oh goodness, I have it. I have it. Speedrun.com. Yeah, because I have a speedrun.com account.
Hmm.
Gaitsnipe anywhere, in case anybody is wondering. 2 years ago, the fastest time for any percent was 3 hours, 46 minutes, 20 seconds.
So that's like in a good day, if you
Mhm.
got, like, all of your runs in, that's, like, 3 total runs you could do,
Yeah,
not including resets. Oof.
and I will say that it's actually a really good time
Mhm.
because The second place time is 4 hours, 20
Oh
minutes.
god. The
So, yeah,
gap.
that's an entire 34 minutes, and there are only 3 speedrunners on the category.
Well, at least you'll be able to get your name on there and get a start. I have so many friends recently that are attempting speedruns, so it's cool to hear that there's another person putting in their uh not putting up the towel, but bringing the towel down and getting ready to fight.
I'm gonna kick its ass. I'm never gonna speedrun this ever again. I'm uninstalling once I finish this game
Forever. Well, what about the
forever.
100% category?
Uh, well, no, there is no 100% category. There is a true end category
Hmm.
that requires you to. So the thing, one of Chris Tale's mechanics is that you do like side quests,
Mhm.
and you have to perform all the side quests so you can get a tertiary option at the end of the main quest for each chapter. And that tertiary option is like the true end option. It's the super good one. Because normally it gives you like option A or option B.
Mhm.
So to do the true end, you have to do like you have to speed run through all the side quests, and then you have to choose the third option every single time.
Okay. So it's the Drakengard approach where you got to do everything pretty much to get the true ending.
Yep,
Well,
that's exactly it. And that's a speed run. There's also a demo speed run, but
yeah, too easy. It's
too
too
easy.
simple. Well, all of that aside, before we get into the main meat of the interview, I have a little tradition on this channel, on this podcast, where I ask the last guest, which was Revi, if they have any questions for the next interviewee. A bit of a pay it forward question, if it were. And all Revi wanted to know is paper or plastic?
You know what? Plastic is easier to carry. However, growing up, I still have an extreme visceral nostalgia for the feel and smell of paper.
Mm.
So I do have to say paper.
So, for more reasons other than it's better for the environment, technically, it's a you like it based on feel.
Yeah, it's more like sensory nostalgic trigger.
Okay.
Also, remember, folks, it doesn't matter if you choose paper or plastic because the only people that can actually change the climate right now are the government and the bourgeoisie. So remember, fuck them.
Yep, exactly. I mean, recently, I don't know if this is the case for Walmarts across the country, but the Walmart near me has completely gotten rid of all paper plastic, and it's now whatever their carrying receptacle is, the fabric woven carrying bags, and that's it. The You just got to bring it back in, or you purchase a new one if you forget, and it's wild to me that we even got to that point. We had so
It's
many
the
laws passed to prevent that, and it still happened.
it's also still the fact that exactly what you just said there. You have to pay again in
Uh huh.
case you just didn't bring it back. And it's like, who's gonna remember to bring it back? Who's seriously carrying these bags in their car every single time that they plan to make an unexpected grocery trip?
I am completely killing it today with the Walmart brand merch.
Look at me, I'm carrying the Walmart Prada crossover.
What do you have, Karen?
I have the interlaced Walmart bag shoes. They're laced with the dollars that were supposed to go into my children's financial fund, but I just whip them out whenever I need to buy a new bag at the checkout line.
Wonderful padding for my feet.
It's so oh, it's such a good insole.
See, for me though, if I ever go in and if I do forget my bag, because I have quite a few now. I have like three or four. No matter how much I get, I will find a way to carry it in my arms. It will be the most uncomfortable experience, the full trek home, but no way am I buying another bag just because I forgot it.
Yeah, no, it's like, "I'm not buying another fucking bag. They can't squeeze that 15 cents out of me."
Fuck you, Walmart. Especially because Target down the road or Safeway, they have their bags still, so fuck it.
Yeah, exact Target's had their bags.
Yeah, yeah. They have both. I still think they're doing plastic, as far as I'm aware, but I haven't been there in a long time because they're very expensive, unfortunately. But okay, you're going for the paper feel, nostalgia, bringing you back in. This is a great way to start the interview.
Yeah, just put it over your head, take a big inhale.
You could almost get high off of the fumes.
Wow, the chemical treatment on the paper is making it feel a little woozy, actually.
Hey,
Ugh.
technically, I guess you could suffocate. Never mind. We're not going to go to that territory. That's a little morbid and dark, despite the context of the channel here. So, Gabe, I have to know. We've been acquaintances for a very long time. I would dare say that we're at least that first friend level. We've been in VCs together, but I don't know a lot about you. What was the turning point for you to become a content creator? And this is just even aside from being a VTuber.
So, the year was 2021.
Ah, yes.
I, a fresh divorcee, suffering through the pandemic, was was watching on his shitty little touchscreen computer. Okay, so at the time, I had this shitty little all-in-one touchscreen, right?
Hmm.
It was I got it after my grandma passed away. It's one of those like computers that's like it looks like a monitor, but it's a touch screen, and then you can like use a keyboard and mouse with it. But
Hmm.
it's also the tower inside of it.
Yes.
So everything works. So there's like zero real space on this thing. I primarily used it to connect to Discord and also like play like D&D and stuff on it. So, originally, I actually didn't know about VTubing until late 2020, early 2021,
Hmm.
I think. So I follow this content creator. His name is Salt Factory, and he does like these video essays on old games. I like his delivery because he has this kind of like flat, sarcastic kind of delivery that I find humorous as he goes through because
Yes.
some of the points he makes are like actually talking about the history and stuff, which is like, really interesting. The other part is like he makes like a snide offhand joke, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's funny. And I realized that he streamed. So I decided to start watching his streams. And it's like whenever I had the off chance, I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll tune in. And then another content creator I followed, Rasputin, another little video essayist. He does like shorter form videos, primarily talking about video games. He got his huge algorithm hit
Hmm.
off of his gaming for a non-gamer series, where he takes his wife and he has her play like different types of games, different genres and stuff,
Hmm.
and like kind of like writes and talks about her experience and how someone coming brand new into like the gaming sphere experiences this type of game for the first time.
Yeah.
So I started watching them, and off of them, that's when I started seeing like VTubers. I've never gotten introduced to corpos. I've only known VTubing through indies. So my first indie was Ricky Nyonko.
Okay.
She's a fantastic content creator. She's a cat girl. She does art, she does like some video games. I watched her when she was playing Danganronpa, and honestly, I'm just like, this is real cool. I like the fact like it introduced me to the concept of I can like perform in front of people without having to use the webcam, but also not having to just have everything be like a blank screen. I can have
Mhm.
like an avatar. Uh, so this is gonna sound real weird,
Hit me with
but
it.
I started following more VTubers after that, of course. Like I started picking up more and more indie people. Ricky is also she also does like tarot. She
Mhm.
did tarot card redeems back then. Uh, and I was like kind of on the fence. I'm like, should I really do this? Should I actually do this? So I redeemed a tarot card reading just because I'm like, I'm not like super. I'm agnostic, so I'm not like hugely awfully spiritual, but I still do believe in like energies and bigger powers and all that.
Mhm.
Uh, so I just got a reading, and the reading essentially boiled down to taking the first step towards that change, pushing yourself towards striving towards a goal. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I was on a huge unemployment break because like I had just lost my job like literally the week before the pandemic hit.
Oh.
And it was a nice job. I was in that job position for like over 3 years, but the company that took over that I had transferred over to because uh I couldn't travel for work for the other one, but uh they decided to let me go. They didn't want to hold me on.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was unemployed. I was lucky enough that it was also during like the beginning of the unemployment hike, for like whenever you get the money, they gave you like the major boost that they
Mhm.
decided on because everyone was home at this point. Uh, so I had a good chunk of money and I spent like over a grand on my current PC setup. I've had this PC set up for almost 3 years now.
Jesus.
And
Okay.
uh, so I bought it. I paid an artist to commission me a my first model, which it's very stylistically good. However, as a PNG, it doesn't play as well as my current iterations. But it was a good start. It was a great
Mhm.
start. And I just started content creating after that. I started streaming. I just played like different little games I had. I've always been Gate the Bearcat, and it's always just been like, "Hey guys, like just like hang out with me, play a game." Doesn't matter if y'all gotta like sit back and lurk or if you want to like chat with me. Like I was playing like Everhood. I played Hylix,
Oh, yes, I
both
love that
Hylix one
one.
and two. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
they were so good. Um, for my affiliate stream, spent 6 days straight reading Homestuck. My voice was so burnt because I did voice acting for all of the characters.
Oh my god.
I got all I literally my days were literally wake up, jump onto my mic, start reading Homestuck, take a break to use the bathroom and eat,
Mhm.
drink throat coat tea, spend the rest of the day reading Homestuck, go to sleep with my stream still going. I literally did not stop. I did not manually stop my stream for 6 days straight.
Oh my god.
Now, Twitch, of course, has its 48-hour rule where a stream can technically not go over 48 hours, so it kinda, like, manually hiccups your stream and it breaks up the VOD,
Yeah.
but I had, like, a sleeping screen that I was, like, over on. I had, like, a 10-hour playlist of copyright-free music playing. And then I just, like, woke up, I switched over, and I just started reading, more Homestuck the
More
next day.
Homestuck. And that's how you got your start as a VTuber.
Yeah, that's essentially my start. Like, once I hit affiliate, then it was all plateau from there, baby.
I still think you do a good job. I enjoy what you've been doing recently. I've stopped on in, though I haven't said much because I've been working really hard. You've been playing a lot of video game demos recently.
Yeah, I
Um,
wanted to get through the Next Fest demos that I had downloaded like 29 of them this year.
oh gods, that have you enjoyed some of them? I've seen some of them you've like immediately swapped off of, but
Oh yeah, I've enjoyed most of them
okay.
actually. I can probably count on one hand the ones I didn't like, and maybe it takes like one hand and a couple fingers to count the ones that are I was iffy on. Mainly
Mm.
because like the demo maybe crashed partway through. I didn't get a good
Uh,
experience to it. Or the one game that I was really interested in. What was it called? Out of Cult or something like that? It was supposed to be like a little RPG thing, but, the thing was that it didn't have English language support.
oh, okay.
So, yeah, I couldn't play it primarily because I couldn't read any of it.
That will do it, but at least you've had a good time with it so far. And it's also very interesting because you are my first guest, at least to my knowledge, that um, through tarot card readings, you decided, to take that step to try something new. And I'm glad that you're here because one, I think your concept's really cool. There aren't very many Binturongs or Bearcat VTubers aside from yourself.
There's,
Uh,
like, there's a few.
mhm.
Tapania is a really good one. She's a great little but she she's more of a like a kimono Mimi, I guess, is, like, the type. There's also another one. Her name is, Binta Luna, I believe. No, Luna de Bintu, and she's also a Binturong, but also a kimono Mimi. I think, like, if the furry artist Suck McJones isn't on Twitch, then I'm the only actual, like, anthro Binturong on Twitch.
Yes, because I'm sure from the whatever preview that we get on our podcasting platform, and as well as if you're watching on YouTube, of course, you are have a lot of those animalistic traits. You are the closest to a binturong that still stands, that has the glasses, the shirt, the pants, and everything. um, which I do always applaud the VTubers that go that route, that try out that instead of the classic anime forms that we see. Goddamn weebs.
Well, the thing is, like, I wasn't adverse from anime either. The thing
Hmm.
was just, like, that wasn't my style. I wasn't gonna, like, I wasn't gonna try to, like, memorize any kinda, like, Japanese phrase to, like, say to people. I wasn't gonna, like look at me. Okay. I don't know if you haven't noticed, for people who are listening, hi, I'm fat, and if you've ever seen, like, how fat people are ever, like, depicted in the media, it's never really in a good light. It's because, like, we're always delegated to be a comic relief character, a pathetic look character. Like the skinny person has a depression era, and then they go and they enter into a fat mode. Um, Slobs, evil villains sometimes,
Hmm.
and it's never like a good light for people of my body type or even people of heavier body types because uh I'm built like behind the bear cat. I'm built, really tall. I'm like
Hmm.
6 feet tall. I'm broad-shouldered, broad-chested. I can hold my gut, like, relatively well. If you go by the shitty ass system that is the BMI system, it's gonna tell you that I'm obese because of, like, my height to weight ratio.
Hmm.
Which folks, by the way, the BMI system was never meant to determine how healthy you are as far as your weight goes, but rather it was just supposed to determine how much of body mass you have per inch of height that you are to your actual weight. It's not really a good system because it was actually set off of a standard based off of an average of white European men.
Mm.
Just in case you ever feel bad about yourself, don't look at the BMI index. Go with your healthy weight. Whatever feels healthy for you that your body sticks to, that's your health. That's a good healthy weight for you. If you want to lose weight, I'm not saying you shouldn't. All I'm saying is that, don't sweat yourself about it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, like when I made my fursona, because I had my fursona before I started streaming.
Mhm.
Uh, so when I made my fursona, I wanted it to be a reflection of my body because didn't want to ever feel bad about myself. I didn't want people to be like, "Oh, you're just hiding behind you're just making a fat character because you're fetishizing." It's like, "No, I am fat." It's like I'm this big. Or like I'm a big guy.
Mhm. And yeah, there is like that side because I'm sure you've seen all of the Lutrium stuff that is like my thing, but I also understand that that's not a thing all of the time, the fetish side of things. And
Yeah.
there's this weird misconception now. I don't even think it's a problem because of the fetishist, because the at least for the most part, the ones that I've met are very understanding and kind. Um, it's those weird, like, 4chan people, the ones that, like,
Yeah.
they really push the narrative, um honestly, our beauty standards from a celebrity standpoint and from the media that we have been shoved into our faces from birth also contribute to that, and I'm glad that you do that. I'm glad that you, um, show off, like, in a positive light, your body type because it's important to it's a symbol to remind people that they shouldn't be ashamed of themselves, that this is them. You should own your body for what it is, as long as you're comfortable, of course.
Yeah, like, I'm not because like, I have to be kind of, like, toe the line and be careful because those same people I talked about, those same, like, uh, really kinda, like, the pe to put for in lack of a better term, a
Mhm,
lot of right-wing people tend to go for the argument that leftists are all like, "Oh, you just want people to be obese. You just want people to be unhealthy." Body positivity can also be really toxic, which is a problem
mhm,
because there are people who will literally scream fat phobia at some people who only want to lose like a little bit of weight, or maybe for their own choice, for their own personal health, that they're choosing to go and work out for weight loss. And it's a problem on both sides. Yeah, body neutrality is its own thing, but I always prefer to think of myself as being body positive without trying to scream at other people that, they're being fat phobic, they're being a horrible person, they're being abusive and all that for like working out and posting their progress.
mhm,
Because you have that right. It's your body. You have body autonomy. You have your own autonomy over your body. You want to work out and lose weight. I'm not going to say anything against you. Uh, but I do have something to say against you if you're going to start pointing fingers at, people that are overweight and claim them to be unhealthy. Like, oh, you're so obese, you're so unhealthy. Do you know their health? Are
mhm.
you their doctor? Can you really determine somebody's health just by looking at their waist? Because if you're skinny and I look at your waist, then I have to determine you're unhealthy because you seem to not be eating enough.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
interesting, huh?
Yep. And then we have like the people who forget that back 100 years ago, 200 years ago, if you were considered overweight by today's standards, it was a sign of wealth because, you were able to have food on the table and take care of yourself. And it was actually regarded highly upon like that. Although, of course, from that stems a lot of tropes, such as the evil nobles who are overweight all that stuff. There's so much to talk about. It's like a whole uh, I don't even know, rabbit hole of conversation that
Yeah.
honestly we could delve for hours into.
God, I don't wanna take up your day. I know that you open this, like, you don't wanna take time out of my day. If you've ever seen my streams, you don't be worried about me. You trap I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. I will keep you going, so you have to tell me to stop.
We will put a pin in it for that because those conversations I love to reserve for the secondary podcast, which is Double Dose. So I'm glad that we had this conversation, and I want to continue it at a more like focused and information based uh, discussion, I suppose.
We'll make a sticky note and we'll, like, put it right on the wall.
Perfect. So, this is a question that Buffy asked a while ago, and I always like to bring it back every so often because I really enjoy it. If you could have yourself represented in any form of media, so like a movie, cartoon, as a brand like food, what would it be?
I mean, it's very obvious, right?
I
I
mean,
would definitely love to have, like, some sort of, like, puppet media or, like, a puppet fusion media, you know? Like how, they did Dark Crystal Resistance.
hmm
Rest in peace, Dark Crystal Resistance, we'll never forget you. Netflix did you so wrong. The fusion of, like, the CGI effects with, the puppetry that Jim Henson never fucking misses, and it's amazing that they did so good on, like, the Skeksis redesigns, when they, like, remade the puppets just for that series.
hmm
Oh god. I would I would for the Hunter Skeksis.
I can't say I've ever seen it, but if it still
I
exists outside of
I've said it.
Netflix,
It exists, alright, it's out there. I'm gonna do things to that puppet when Jim isn't looking.
break right into the studio, the warehouse where that puppet is right now.
Hey, and listen, I'm in California, I can fucking do it. I have nothing to live for.
Yeah, if your VTuber career or whatever you're doing just doesn't pan out, you're going straight for that puppet.
As soon as I graduate, I'm going right for that puppet. But yeah, no, I would like to have, like I would like to have myself as, like, an actual, like, puppet because 'cause you've seen Puppet Gates.
hmm
And I think it would just be funny to have, like, this weird, funky, googly-eyed little fuck doing something. Do you remember when what was the channel? It was a late night show, and they had a rubber Rottweiler puppet that smoked a cigar, who would go out on the streets and do interviews with people. It was like the beginning of street interviews before the internet picked up street interviews.
I it's like a core memory wanting to be unlocked, and I can like it's like flashing in my brain, but I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, I want something like that, but also fused with the traveling dad from Fraggle Rock to have it
Mm.
be kinda like an exploration show, kinda like talking to people on the streets, seeing about, like, different areas, different locations and stuff.
Now, when you say puppet, do you mean like the hand puppet gate, or do you mean like uh from strings, or like the way that the Muppets are?
Nah,
W-
it's gotta be a hand puppet.
Hand puppet? Okay.
Hand Puppet Gate's amazing. I love Hand Puppet Gate.
It is I love it. It's adorable. I want to see more.
Uh, for people who don't know context, you can always follow me. I'm Gaitsnipe literally everywhere, and you can see my little puppet form. Uh, for those who are listening, I want to point this out as well. And obviously to point it out to here as well. Uh, my model parent, Hemlock.
Mm,
Well, my Hemlock didn't. make this one. This one was drawn by Lucky of Fluffy Arcades. They did a fantastic job on the PNG Tuber Plus model. But my original PNG models were drawn by Hemlock Stone. And I came up with the idea and I asked them, "Hey, would you be down to draw me as a hand puppet and I send you a photo of my real forearm so you can like draw over it?" And they're just like, "I love this idea. Yes, let's do it." So anytime that hand puppet gate is ever on the screen, that's my real life arm everybody is seeing.
So cameo.
Yeah, little IRL cameo. In fact, you saw the recent fan art that I got as well, the bonk one.
Yes, yes.
That is my arm again.
I'm gonna have a lot of images to flash up on screen, and I'm very happy. Better
Sorry.
watch on YouTube if you want to see all this.
Po Post editing gate here. None of these images made it to YouTube.
Yeah, I just uploaded the episode completely raw.
And it's just like one little editor's note from saying sorry.
Yeah, whoopsie, forgot. I even
Whoopsies.
include our like before the intro conversation, like straight cut in the middle of a dialogue.
Here is a kitten picture to apologize.
Okay, so you would want a lot actually. You want a hand puppet and you want your own form of media, whether it's through YouTube, a TV show where you explore like a mix of street interviewing and just exploring the world.
Yeah, kinda like,
Okay.
going place to place, going to not even just, like, big hotspots. I would wanna go to, like, a sp I love it when people really kinda, like, show, like, the out of place areas. Not to, like, force it as a tourist destination, but to just kinda show people that there's way more to California than LA or San Francisco. There's way
Hmm.
more to Texas than Houston or Austin, things like that.
Yeah. The places that they have culture and they have life, they're there for a reason. And there are people there, real physical human beings that need to have their story told.
Places don't make the people, people make the places.
Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly.
I think I stole that from somebody. If it I don't want H Bomber Guy to put me on the list. Let's just say that I'm just pulling that not as an actual, like, quote that I made up. If somebody else said it, then they said it.
It's funny. I hardly know what H Bomber Guy sounds like because I don't listen to a lot of his content, but just literally an hour-long video, and the only context is that 30 seconds where you quote something else.
So, do you know the artist who's been making the little YouTube short videos called Frog Facts Friday?
No, I don't actually.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I should send it to you because it's actually really cute. You would like it.
Okay.
Um, but H-Bomb does the voiceover for those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the second I hear it, I think I'll recognize it. Like it'll really click with me. I will watch an H Bobber Guy video. I promise. I'm not uncultured.
I mean, you don't have to. Don't worry about it. Nobody's forcing you to watch a 4-hour long video.
Y'all don't know it because on the screen, Gates' right arm is underneath the blanket, but they're pointing a gun at me.
There's a
I'm being forced to watch H Bomber Guy.
hey, hey, what did I fucking say? What did I fucking say?
We talked
Keep it
about this
going.
before the interview.
Keep it going.
I love H. Bummer Guy. I would love to watch his videos, but of course I'm not being coerced.
What's
Of
your
course
opinion on
not.
Fallout 3? What's your opinion
Uh,
on Fallout 3?
good game.
Oh, that's it. You're dead.
Okay, game.
You chose the wrong side. H-Bomb hates Fallout 3.
You're the arbiter of H. Bummer Guy.
I'm actually I don't care. I don't like I'll watch his videos. I'm not gonna push his like pure opinions as fact or anything. I develop my own opinions. I like Fallout 3 as it is. I recognize its flaws. It's not my favorite,
Mhm.
but, it's okay. It's better than Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah. Nothing, though, compares to the GOAT, Fallout 1.
Oh,
My
I
b
was gonna say to New Vegas.
yeah, I know.
Fallout Brotherhood.
Fallout
Shit.
76.
Fallout Brotherhood, the one that had to get a sponsorship with balls just to be made.
We love balls.
We love ball soda.
Okay, back on track.
Sorry. Hi,
It's
my name
fine.
is Gaitsnipe. I'm very good at infecting people with tangents.
And my name is Irisu. I have ADHD, probably.
Oh, shit, me too. I'm shaking your hand. I'm shaking your hand.
Look over here. Look over here.
Oh, squirrel, squirrel.
Okay. Through what you've experienced, what should creators avoid doing?
Oh, Jesus. Where do I start?
All right,
Do you
roll out
want
the tape.
do you want a list? Do you only want a few things? Like what's my limit here?
Give me like what's like the first one that comes to your mind? Like the most important one, the not necessarily a no-brainer, probably the one that like people don't think about a lot.
Don't gun for groups.
Mm.
I find this to be an issue that some people kind of like when they go into VTubing or streaming, one of the main things that they really want to gun for is to be part of a group. You want to be part of a clique. We have that mentality from high school, and you know what, not even from high school, just from life in general, because everyone keep here's the thing, everybody keeps saying like, oh, they're just living high school cliques. We have cliques as adults. We have our
Mhm.
friend groups. We have different types of people. People are varying and different. Cliques are always going to exist outside of high school. But your first reaction is probably to gun for for an already existing group or to try to make your own group as fast as possible. Don't do that. Don't try to be in a group because what you want to do is you want to run with yourself. You want to
Mm.
see what your actual like niche is. What not necessarily your niche. Like I don't have a niche. I'm a variety streamer. I'm everywhere. And I love like going back and forth between different inspirations of what people have done. I've done some challenge runs where I explicitly tell people at the beginning, this was inspired by somebody else's run who is the like X channel on YouTube or is, Y streamer.
Mhm.
And I could say that I'm in a group because I'm with a group of friends and we made like our own little group, but I'm not like we're not like super branded as anything. Uh just find yourself. Find yourself as a person, find yourself as a streamer, and don't worry about joining any like big groups. If you want to
Mhm.
make a group, go for it. After you've had some experience, after you've kind of gotten some more friends and such under your belt, just be careful during the application process. Uh, and if you want to join a group, just be kind of careful with that too, because again, you it's good to know people within that group beforehand. Like, I don't mean to pull up stuff for like drama's sake, but a good example of kind of a group falling apart would be the Wrecking Crew
Mm.
after the whole the Bone Man took off the mask and was, like, revealed to be a real shitlord,
Mhm.
and it's just, like, you gotta be careful with, like, what you're going into, especially if you're trying to go for corpo. Don't do do not join a corpo. Stop it. I'm
At
looking at you.
all.
Stop it. After what just happened at the time of recording, February 13th, after what happened yesterday, nobody should ever wanna join a corporation.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
stay indie, folks. Try to make it your own. If you wanna try to grow this as, like, your own thing, again, build yourself. Then once you start feeling comfortable and once you start having enough people, start putting yourself out there. Set up Ko-fi, set up Patreon, then start like content creating beyond just streaming. Figure out what you want to do. The reason why I'm not trying to fully monetize this is because I don't really have like a ton that I can monetize. I don't know video editing, so I can't really make videos. I My art is still in like very amateur learning phases. I like to draw, but I can recognize that I don't draw well enough for people to want to pay me for it.
Mhm.
My attention span due to like, undiagnosed clinically ADHD and stuff. Uh, as much as I love to write, I can't consistently make myself write because I like lose so much attention. I lose so much time. So I can't even like put that out there as like a money brand. I don't have anything I can market myself as, but that's fine because you
Mhm.
don't have to market yourself. Don't
You
think you
just
have to market yourself.
you just gotta be you.
Yeah, just be you. Just play your little games. Stream to people. So what if you're streaming to 3 people or 50 people? Just play your game.
Mhm.
Play your game, gamer. Do your art, gamer.
Go gaming.
Go gaming. Go gaming.
Now
2005, you're the gamer. Let's go.
the year's 2012 Let's Plays are the height of YouTube. Bring yourself to that era.
Cryotic and PewDiePie just had their first collab.
Layers of
That
fear.
God, that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not going to open that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. As much as it's a great discussion as well. Not.
Yeah. Something else as well.
Mhm.
Don't think you have to spend a ton of money on this. Now, granted, you do have to spend some money on this. It can't VTubing can be expensive. Don't open your streaming career with a live 2D model if you're going I've been in this for a while. I
Mhm.
say for a while. I've been VTubing for like coming up to 3 years, but uh I've seen VTubers since like 2020, 2021. So like I've seen a lot of people the retention rate for VTubing is bad,
Oh,
folks.
Jesus. Yeah.
Life hits you, school sometimes comes up, a maybe it's your job, maybe you no longer can get the hours available free. I've supported people who come in live debut, live 2D model, and then they just haven't been able to stream after those like first few months, or sometimes they just disappear completely off the internet. And so with that, start with a PNG. I started
Mhm.
with a PNG. I'm still a PNG, in fact. It may not look like it, but I am still using a PNG. I'm a series of still images mushed together in a program, so I look like a silly little goofy animated guy. Also, you know what? If you do want to have like maybe like a movable model, maybe if you want to like I don't know, move your head around and stuff. Vroid has free models that you can just like edit and work off of. So if that's something that you can work with, then that's a free option.
Mhm.
You can if you can draw, you can make your own PNG. You can pay people to make a PNG. Honestly, art for an open and closed mouth PNG is a lot cheaper than like paying for a live 2D model.
Mhm.
VideoTube, it's you
Oh
can
yeah.
like do a small little donation, but it's relatively free. PNG Tuber Plus, if you want to like rig and have a model like TuneGate here, where you can like bounce around and stuff, that's also free slash you can like donate to the creator. There are free programs. OBS is the main one. Uh, then there's also like, you know, uh, fucking Slime. I use Slime too for my chat box now.
Mhm.
I use a combination of stream labels for my like follow and subscribe and stuff. I use Mix It Up for my like raid alerts and all that. I use Streamer Bot for part of my redeems.
Oh,
I use
hail.
I use BQ-Bot for the big bulk of my stuff, actually. I've been using BQ-Bot for years. Now, BQ-Bot is a little paywalled. You do need to support through the Patreon in order for you to be able to get access to the application.
Mhm,
But I will say that it's good. It's a good program. So if you want to help like support the creator and you want to like get that, BQ-Bot is another good one. Uh, I use so many free programs. I'm an advocate for free because I love it free and cheap and dirty. I use Krita when I do art. I use GIMP to edit my schedule. Well, when I made schedules, I use it to edit my schedules. I use it to edit my promo images. Some I make it a habit to clear out my personal feeds by deleting my going live messages. So they're not just like cluttering everything. So I can just
mhm.
like go back and like see posts a lot sooner. But I use GIMP and I like shoot, I take an image from the game. I can take a screenshot from the game, or I can just like take the promo art and then I just like edit over my various different form faces. And then I just like put it all over and I'm just like, hey, I'm going live. Here's the silly little thing to say that I'm going live.
And no need for
Uh
an editor, no need for all of that. It's
yeah.
doable. You can make it happen.
Yeah. Honestly, don't look into spending a ton of money if you can find free options. There are
Mhm.
always free options. They may not have all the huge bells and whistles as paying like CSP for like $100 a year or something like that, but it's good. It works. You just gotta, make things work within your budget.
Okay. Very good advice, and honestly, yeah, I agree with all of it. I'm just sitting here trying to think like, can I think of something else to counter your points? I guess the only thing would be like to tack on is for the group point that you made, not joining a group right away. And if you want to, much like if you were applying for a job, you should do it because you want it. Like you know you would fit in that position.
Yeah.
Um, it is a multi-layered tool. You get networking done because you meet new people, of course, and if there is like a quote unquote manager of the group, you have those connections there. But again, you wouldn't just like apply for a random thing that you're not ready for that you have zero experience in.
You're
Wait.
not gonna you're not
Yeah.
gonna apply for a fucking data entry job at NASA just because you did 3 years of retail at the Walmart.
I mean, that's not enough, is it?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn it. I thought I would have a chance.
I'm sorry, Iris.
Oh my god, Cinnamon has chosen this time to be an evil villain. All right.
Uh, yeah, no, yeah. If you wanna again, if you're trying to do it because you wanna network, but you're also trying to, like, apply something, for a lot of groups, you have to pretty much show that you can give something as much as they can give you.
Mhm.
You have to be kinda, like, semi-consistent. I'm so inconsistent with my streaming.
God, don't I know that?
I'm very inconsistent. Like, I was planning to stream yesterday, but I decided, "You know what? No, I don't wanna." That's why I don't do a schedule anymore. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, real quick. Figure out a schedule for yourself.
Mhm.
Uh, like, try to get yourself into a regularity. I'm choosing not to do a schedule because, like, I can't really commit to anything since I don't have a solid personal life schedule. But once I do have a personal life schedule, then I can, work around that. Then I can start making schedules again.
Mhm.
But yeah, just, figure out, like, days and stuff that work for you that you can work with, and then just try to, like, outside of, like, health and life and stuff, try to maintain, like, a consistency.
Yeah. Consistency is key in that regard.
which is why we're both struggling, Iris.
Yeah, it's so inconsistent. My goodness.
My god.
But, I work so many hours in the week. It's very difficult for me to commit to a schedule, especially when what I was supposed to do is now I'm exhausted. I can't do it. I just want to go to bed or relax instead of putting on the slight act that I do, my bit of being Neo.
Mhm.
Um, so it is hard. It is a commitment to do. Um, which I will say, if you're streaming as a hobby, if you're a VTuber as a hobby, you're having fun with it, by all means, I personally believe that that is the best way to do it. If you are streaming or VTubing to become popular,
This has to
um,
be a full-time job.
yeah, it is a sacrifice of your own life. You are now the starving artist who needs to work to live and sacrifice their own personal life in order to have a career out of this eventually, to do it as a full-time job as opposed to what your job would be. So you need to understand those requirements, those demands that you need to set upon yourself. Which is why I'm not consistent at the moment. I can't do it,
Mhm.
and that is perfectly okay. That is an okay thing um, to come to terms with. Uh, yeah, very solid advice. I like it. Um, Now I must ask the ever so famous question: if you weren't a Binturong VTuber or a Bearcat, what would you be instead?
So, I've actually been thinking about this a lot, especially because, like, what if I wasn't, you know, what if I wasn't a Binturong? What would I be? I think the clear answer is I would actually be what my secondary option for Fursona would be, which is an II.
And I
An II.
I have
Uh,
never heard of this thing
oh
before.
my gosh. Okay, you know lemurs, right?
Mhm.
Imagine a cute little lemur. Now make it horrendously ugly, as if it just, like, had, like, 0 sleep, it has an IT job, and it keeps getting called up from the office every day, and it has, like, a super long middle finger on, like, both hands.
Okay.
What? It's okay,
Yeah,
don't
we'll
worry,
edit this
hey,
in.
editing Iris, pull up an II, pull up an II. So
uh,
fun fact, one of my favorite fun facts about them is that in Madagascar, by the locals, they are considered to be a omen. So whenever you like see one, it's generally like bad luck. And to the
mm,
point where unfortunately due to superstition, they have been, hunted and killed. Which is unfortunate because they're actually a really interesting kind of lemur. What they do is they gnaw through like branches and stuff, and they use their extremely elongated middle finger with a hook claw, and they like reach in there and they pull out grubs to eat.
the more you talk about the hook claw, the more I like see it in my brain.
Yeah, yeah, I mean it so they have like these very kind of like spindly fingers, but the
Mhm.
middle finger is like twice as long, and it's, like, really curled in, and they use that to kinda, like, tap on, they use it to tap on, like, wood and stuff, so they can, like, hear the hollow points where, like, grubs and stuff have, like, burrowed into.
That is really cool.
It is. It's
So,
a neat.
you would be an I instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would be an II, or, if I had something, like, more available, I would actually have used probably my, original D&D character, which
Mhm.
was a young lad named Eric G. Hero. You're not so generic hero.
Okay.
I liked him because he's just this little young lad, and uh, I made his name as a pun because Eric Gen Hero. Uh, hero spelled like Hyroh,
Mhm.
and like Eric generic, and he was like supposed to be this not so generic hero because he was like 19. He came from a fishing village. His dad used to be a soldier, but he retired, and now he's a boatsmith. Like, he works on boats. His mom is this big burly fishing woman who does the net weaving for all the fishing boats in the village.
Mhm.
He used to always hear, like, the tales that his dad would tell, but his mom would stop them because she wanted him to, like, grow up and also be, like, working on the fishing boats and stop following, like, tales of fancy. And so he left when he was, 18. He left the house, he snuck out, and then he just, like, went on a life of adventure. But he's, like, so very oh god, it's extremely shonen coded.
He is the Ash Ketchum leaving his home, for the first time and going on his own adventure.
Except his mom didn't want him to leave, and
Yep.
he left anyway.
I love this, but would he still be a human? Would you still be a human, or would
I
you
actually
go
It
more
would've been
anime?
human. No,
Okay.
I actually have art of him, but yeah, no, it's like I have a art that I commissioned of him, and I would've just been that. He's not really anime, uh, I don't mean to be shonen, he would've just been, like, fantasy based,
Mhm.
so it would've just been, like, basic, uh, illustrated character kinda guy.
Okay.
Nothing anime fancy about it.
That's fair, that's fair. I like this idea, this concept, both of them, and I will when I look up the image of the I'll it'll hit me in the brain that I should have known and remembered what it was, but it's just not hitting me at the moment. Um, but very important question.
Okay.
When you get onto the computer and you're ready to stream for the day or even just hanging out in VC, what does it mean for you to be Gaitsnipe?
At this point, it's pretty much like everything.
Mm.
Like, I feel more comfortable as Gate Snipe than I do in like kind of like my life to life. I know it's a bit unhealthy to think of such, but the thing is, I don't separate what I present on stream or in calls from myself because it's literally just me. This is
Mhm.
just providing a face for people to look at while I like be myself. So there is no feeling to be Gate Snipe because I've always felt to be Gate Snipe. I've always been Gate Snipe. That's been my username since the 2010s. And I've literally been Gate Snipe for like 12, 13 years. So yeah, even before streaming, this has always been me. I didn't create a character. I created lore for streaming specifically, but I'm still me. I've always been me.
Okay. Uh, like honestly, for a lot of people, that is the answer. You just get to be yourself, and it's that slightly extended persona, and that's as much as it needs to be. Okay. Well, I did say that was a very important question, but I do have an even more important question for you.
Oh no.
Gate, what is a binturong?
Oh boy. So first off, it's not a close species. Don't ask that. Literally, as I started streaming, first couple months into streaming, someone asked me, "Hi, are you a close species?" Luckily, I never got asked that again, but Jesus. You don't just go up to someone and ask if they're a close species. You don't just go up to someone and ask if they're why they're white. So, a binturong is a mammal usually found within Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
It's sometimes there are there's like one species I believe in Africa, but primarily it is Southeast Asia. And it is a really funky little dude. So when people hear Binturong or Bearcat, a lot of people are immediately gonna know the one fact, which is we smell like popcorn.
Mhm.
What you don't know is that that popcorn is our piss. You've been
Mm, mm,
smelling piss this
mm.
whole time.
Yummy piss corn.
Yes, piss corn. How does that make you feel a certain way, listener? How does it
Uh,
feel knowing you're huffing my piss?
I'd say the only thing I'm imagining right now is you go to, like, the movie theater, you get your bucket of popcorn, and you head up to the butter dispenser, and it's like, "Oh, wow, this smells really nice, but it's a lot more liquidy than I remember," and it's just the Binturong piss, baby.
It's call me the piss-terong. Okay, but a few other facts actually, because they're a really interesting animal. They are endangered. It is unfortunate they have been hunted. Um, Despite their moniker Bearcat, they are neither related to bears nor cats. They
Mm,
do share a lot of similar features. Um, I will say one thing: a lot of inconsistency with art of me, usually like within my models and such, is usually with the ears. But, like, I'm fine with the ears like I have, like, right now, how they're the inner ears, like, these big, long, triangular, how it follows along.
mhm,
Um, Binturongs actually have, like, very short, little round ears, like bear ears.
mm,
The reason why, my designs normally have, like, tufts with them is because, Binturongs have, like, big, long, kinda like tufts of fur. It makes their ears look a bit more pointed.
mhm.
Also another cool fact, uh, they have their back paws and the ankles of their paws are actually able to fully turn. So like a lot of mammals, usually like quadrupedal mammals, don't have the ability to really like twist their ankles around. They're normally set so that way they can like run and stuff.
Yeah.
But because binturongs are arboreal, which means that they like climb and live in trees mostly. uh, their wrists are able to turn to the sides, which allows them to actually climb face down.
Oh, right, yeah. Instead of backwards.
So they don't have to climb down backwards or anything. They can literally just uh like move down trees and such, like climbing downwards with their nose pointed towards the ground. Which is also helped with their tail because binturongs have a fully prehensile tail that they use to
Oh.
like wrap around branches.
I'm showing more images on the screen, I assure you.
Uh, image here,
Yeah, over here, over there.
short GIF video here. Hey, watchers. Hey, listen, watchers. Look, Subway Surfers. The Subway Surfers.
Bit wrong, Subway Surfers.
Bit wrong. Subway Surfers. Slime.
But
Uh,
why are they hunted? Do you know why? Like, is it for
uh,
food, for pelts?
it's a poaching kind of thing, unfortunately.
Oh.
They're primarily the only ones they can see here within the US are within a very limited circle, usually within zoos and stuff.
Mhm,
It is technically illegal to own a binturong. Some people do, which is, unfortunate because they really deserve like a lot of like open space,
mhm,
especially because they're climbers. They love to climb. They move. They schmooze. Um, they're just really cool guys. I like binturongs.
mhm. And, you said that you based your VTuber off of your fursona, which is a Binturong. What got you interested in them in the first place?
I saw my first binturong in middle school.
And life has been blissful ever since.
Life has never been too wrong since. No, but, yeah, in middle school, there was uh, like, sometimes a school will just, like, bring in, an animal expert or, like, maybe a local or nearby zoo will be like
Mhm.
traveling with some of their animals. So I would actually I remember like seeing a binturong in real life in person for the first time in middle school, and I'm just like, that is a really cool animal. That is really cool. And then when I first decided that I wanted to like really be like a furry and like have a persona in 2011, 2012,
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, but if I did a persona, like what would I be? And everybody has that thing where it's like, I kind of want to stand out. I want it to be seen so if people like sees like an animal, they recognize me as, yeah, that's specifically that one person.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, you know what? I think I kind of want to be a binturong. At first, I was thinking of wolf because I had like a huge phase, as everybody does with wolves.
Mhm.
And also, I really liked Wolf's Rain in high
Oh,
school.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I love the gay yearning wolf anime.
Classic.
Classic. Everybody knows Wolf Rain. If you don't know Wolf's Rain, look up Wolf's Rain.
I hear it's actually pretty good. So, like,
It's a
I've never seen it, but I whenever I look at clips of it, whenever I see it in passing, it's like, wow, that's awesome. This looks
yeah,
epic.
the anime's neat. The manga's good. So for people who don't know, basic rundown. Wolf's Rain is set in a future where wolves are hunted down and seen as evil beasts. So some
Mhm.
of them have adapted the ability to be able to disguise themselves as humans. And there's a small group of wolves who join together, and their main goal is they want to find Eden, which is a heaven slash sanctuary for wolves to get away from humans and just like live out their lives. It's a really good one. It's got some sad points to it.
Mhm.
It's a very good diverse cast.
Yeah,
They're all bisexual,
yes, we stay winning.
not canonically, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
know they are.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, implied heavily at the bare minimum.
Like, listen, Harley Quinn was heavily implied bisexual, and look at us now.
Yep.
Look at
Now
us now.
she's never mind. I see you, Poison Ivy, that's all I gotta say.
I see you, Ivy.
Okay, so a little bit of the lore, 'cause, you did provide me with just a touch of it. What is well, Gate as the character, as the VTuber, what is your lore?
Oh boy. Have you ever felt worried, stressed, just like after a long day? You've always wanted to find a way to escape, to find a little bit of respite from all the shit going on that you have to deal with, whether it be work, some news that you had, just the daily struggle of it.
Yeah, that's me.
Uh, that's where the treehouse comes in. So, where I stream from, lore wise, is called the treehouse. This is a liminal space that opens up to people who are weary, who just need to sit back and relax, get that extra weight off their shoulders. There's no pressure for you to like chat in the stream. There's no pressure for you to, be 100% there. You can literally just have me on, have in the back and just like let everything kind of melt away. Just like let things just kind of like unwind for yourself. And in fact, that's the entire point, the power of the treehouse. The treehouse itself is powered and fueled by the weariness. It actively seeks to bring these people in. That's why it always opens itself up to folks who need respite, who need a little bit of a break room, so to say, in the liminal space sense. Uh, and Gate is a shapeshifter. Also, they are a sort of catalyst, so to say. What they do is they act as the intermediary to absorb that stress and weariness and such off of the people And during the entire stream, that all gets channeled into Gate, and then afterwards, it gets released out into the liminal space itself to feed it, so it stays, functioning, working.
Okay.
So that the lore that I thought, because I really wanted like just a space where people could like again like relax, just sit back. I want it to be chill. Uh, I never like try to pressure people to always be like reply, reply, reply. Like you see those like big streamers who have like the constant chat always going on. Everybody's talking all at once. I want it. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not saying that's something that maybe I would like in the future, but for right now, I just kind of want people to realize and recognize this is something you can just like have on in the background. You can literally lurk in my streams, and I hope that it helps you like feel that weight get off your shoulders, that you recognize that you're taking this time to relax and unwind, hopefully take care of yourself. It puts you in this like liminal space of sorts,
Hmm.
which I always say liminal space. I call the treehouse liminal space, and some people get confused. They're like, aren't liminal spaces like the back rooms? Like those long hallways that you get lost in that scare you? And it's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's also like it's an intermediary. It's a place between places. It allows you to kind of like see that there are stretches in between our world and a world beyond.
Hmm.
Which the treehouse itself is like this ever growing, ever expansive kind of like it's called a treehouse, but the treehouse itself is like the size of a mansion on a tree that is like 1,000 feet from the ground.
So you
Not
can
like
fall.
you can fall, which is why nobody's allowed to exit through the doors. There are so when you leave the treehouse, there's usually like a door that is like given to you.
Hmm.
It's like, the treehouse makes a door, and then you can leave. It's best you don't try to find any other doors. Don't go through the front door. Don't take the elevator. The elevator's only for gates. Um, don't go into the woods 1,000 feet on the ground because, boy howdy, you don't want to go in there. There are things in there. It
Well,
has its like minor horror element, but I don't focus on the horror elements. It's just because like the space itself, of course, is like feeding off of negativity and all this. So, of course, there's going to be a byproduct of that, and that happens to be on the forest floor.
okay. Well, as the horror one, I do want to ask some questions that maybe you didn't even think about or not many people ask, but what is the tree? How
It,
long has the tree been there?
that's the key question, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
The thing is, of course, the tree, the tree and the tree house are both ageless. Think of it like you ever played or seen Control?
Yes.
You know the oldest building.
Mhm.
Think of it like that.
Okay.
Nobody knows the exact age of it. People only understand that it took on this brutalism appearance because it doesn't like new technology, nor does it like modern kind of like aesthetics or appearances. It's very nobody knows how old the oldest house actually is. It just exists. It only shows itself for people that work within it or people it wants to bring inside, which end up as the people who work within it.
Mhm.
So that's like that's the tree. The tree itself is like more of kind of like this is what the tree house like feeds through. Its roots and everything are sent to the forest floor. This is how like whenever I as the catalyst go and like do the deposit so to say, it allows the tree house to be able to like feed through the tree. The tree and the tree house are kind of like interwoven. a lot of the aesthetics are like, not that I have any, unfortunately. I haven't been able to commission any art for like scene lays, but what I always imagine is that branches go through it. It's not built on top of, it's not built around. It's literally the tree and the tree house have like moments where they're like fused together,
Mhm.
where you'll just see like a branch or two in like one room, but it's like not through a hole in the wall. It's literally as if it's coming from the wall itself. The floor looks like gnarled wood bark, as if it was like actually part of the tree trunk spark. And everything has like that. Everything looks like modern and sort of like part of it, but then it's like kind of like look at it, it's like, oh, that's like a weird kind of like little fusion hybrid of like
Mhm.
of what I would see in real life with a tree.
Okay. And from that, if you were like using the example of the old house, are you someone who was pulled in and started working for this or as the catalyst, or have you also been here since God knows when?
That's the thing, is memory is fickle.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so unfortunately, as far as my existence within the treehouse, as far as I know, I've always lived here.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say. Um, think of me don't think of me as one of the employees or the director. I'm Ati. I am just the
Okay.
janitor.
I'm just here, man. I don't know.
Well, Ati has like a really cool like entire like do you know some of the like connections that people have made with Ati in Control?
So I don't know that far. I know the game on like a very basic level. I've seen like a somewhat like full playthrough, but it was a little bit ago that I watched it.
Yeah. Well, Ati is like literally the first actual character you meet when you like start the game.
Right. Yeah.
You like literally walk to him and he's like, I know what you are here for. You are here to apply for position of janitor assistant.
Mhm.
And it's like he's plays this ever existent character, and there's like some like pages throughout the game. One of them is like if you see a janitor walking around but you don't recognize a janitor being assigned to your zone, do not interfere. Let him do his day to day. Let him do his thing. He does not like to be prevented from doing his work.
Mhm.
And a lot of talk around Ati, which I think is really interesting, especially like it kind of like figures into my existence within the treehouse as well, is that he's always been with the oldest house. He's literally the janitor. He helps like clean up and handle some of the messes that would otherwise like be unable to be worked with other people.
Mhm.
That's kinda like why I'm here. I'm the janitor. I help, like, keep everything neat, tidy, and I also, like, am the catalyst. I am that intermediary for the energy for the treehouse. So, like, I absorb all that, and then I give it to the treehouse. But Ati is, like, a real interesting character as well, because like, some people assume he's Finnish.
Mhm.
He's played by a Finnish voice actor, and he is a Finnish character. And so people have like realized that janitor in Finnish literally kind of like transliterates to one who keeps the building or one who maintains the building. And his name Ati is actually really close to that of like a, Finnish sea god. So some people assume that Ati is just like his own like paranatural being just
Mhm.
within the entirety of the building.
Like a deity of sorts, but not a one that interferes.
Yeah, his literal goal and his personal like like his personal stuff as well, like as he keeps saying, I'm the janitor. So all he does is like just maintains everything, just keeps everything clean and tidy. That is until like the game, when the hiss is introduced in the oldest house, and then you come along, and then you are like, all right, well, time to help set everything straight. You're literally, although you become the director, you're literally still the janitor's assistant because you're
Mhm.
still assisting Auntie to help clean everything up.
Okay. So this position's usually perceived as one of the lower positions that you could have in the real world, is a extremely important cog in the machine that keeps it running.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you say as a catalyst that you take the burdens of stress and give it to the treehouse.
Yes.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
it a physical form?
I actually have art of this that I commissioned. That's actually also
Ooh.
part of the lore. Uh, I can DM it to you. And so essentially, what happens is I become like a time bomb. I can't always hold on to it. Like, I can absorb it and I can take it, but I have a timer of sorts. Otherwise, if I hold on to it too long, it starts manifesting.
Mm.
And then this is where you like this is where editor Neo puts it up right there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is, chat. Uh, but essentially that is so what happens is like Gate becomes like monstrous. It ends up like affecting their being. They become this like horrible awful thing because that's like the manifestation of it. It's this stress, this weariness which always lurks like a monster, just dark shadow behind you. All you see are like the glowing eyes and the teeth waiting until it just eats you whole, just completely gets rid of your being because that's what generally like stress is. It's
Mhm.
something that can completely overtake a person. It's this dark shadow waiting to fully envelop somebody when they're at the breaking point, when they've taken too much of it. It's a
And
metaphor.
and this is you.
It is still me. So
Okay.
that's like so the treehouse has provided like, physical boons or benefits, I guess you could say, which is why I'm a shapeshifter. I'm able to swap between my different forms because it's literally me changing my shape. With with the stress one, with Monster Gate is literally what happens if my body, like the shape shifting is like, okay, you've taken on too much, so this is what you become. I can't control it. I just turn into it. You kind of like lose sense of self as well. It's like all that's left is hunger. All that's left is to consume a person,
Mhm.
make them feel that crushing weight of stress. It all leads back to Vor, everybody.
We did it, everyone.
We've looped it around, folks.
It's funny because, I also toy around with this concept. I don't know how much of my lore that you've seen and the stuff that I've gone about with, Neo being this shrewd, like, the angel, but also the devil over the shoulder of, "This is what's right, this is what you have to do," and, very controlling. And I talked about it a lot. I like these claws, the very defining trait of Neo, literally represents a, like, I give you the hug, or I'm like holding your arm in comfort and digging my claws into your skin, into your back, raking it. So the toxic, frog.
Right.
It's all
Yeah.
coming together. And I love that. It's a very powerful narrative piece. in an otherwise what would seem like a normal situation because I just see a little fella. But with this monster, it adds a whole new perspective to the lore, and it's awesome. I love this stuff.
Aw, I'm just a little fella.
Yeah, just a little fella who could
Just a
turn
little fella.
into this evil goopy creature with
Yeah. Well, so for size context, Gate standard, both my mask and fem forms
Mhm.
are my height, like 6 feet tall. Toon Gate here, this little meatball is like 3'6". Puppet Gate is like maybe a foot tall, generously.
Mhm.
And then Monster Gate, that like from standing wise from top of the head to the base of the feet is like 8 foot plus.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not like, again, it's a looming shadow. It's supposed to be this large, heavy weight that's like constantly behind you.
Mhm.
Like that's another little thing. It's like you never really see it directly until it's like too late, until it's already ready to consume you. It's always
Mhm.
just this lurking thing behind you, something you can feel eyes on you.
It reminds me a lot, and this is obviously I don't want to take this away from this design right here. It
Mhm.
reminds me of Displacer Beasts from Dungeons and Dragons.
So sorta, yeah. Actually, my main inspirations for this, actually, have you ever watched The Neverending Story?
I have not,
Oh my gosh. Oh, you
but
should
I
watch.
I
It's
know like I can visualize what you're about to tell me that dark
this is
creature.
primarily I've based it off of The Nothing,
Mhm.
which is well, focused wise, it is the nothing that appears to the kid as a wolf in the cave. Just this dark, shadowy being where you see these predator eyes, you see the sharp teeth, like juxtaposed by the darkness surrounding it.
Mhm.
It is this low growling voice that you can barely see around. It's like as your eyes like barely adjust to the darkness in the cave it's in. I've also kind of based it like the tendrils and everything are more kind of like uh more like the heartless. I wanted to base it around. Like
Yes.
it's less of like these actual tentacles like a displacer beast has, but it's more of these shadowy tendrils because again, shadow, metaphor, looming. It's more of a consumption through like this enveloping shroud rather than like actually being eaten.
Mhm.
Like the teeth and the eyes are there to help juxtapose and provide this like horrifying view of like a predator, which is why I have them glowing this kind of like molten kind of like orange yellow.
Mhm. I love this design. Oh
Thank
my
you.
god, it's so good. But that does beg the question, Heartless, when are we gonna get a nobody gate?
Oh god. Please. We already have a Trollsona gate. Can we not get a nobody? I don't want to be Snextig or whatever.
I'm sure we could figure out like a good like Ziggit or something.
Zi-
Zigat or
it's still gate, but the X is silent.
Yeah, it
Where's the
works.
wait? But where is the X in it? That's the tricky part. It's
Yeah.
silent. You don't know.
The mysterious 15th member, because there is a 14th member of Organization 13 already. Anyways,
Oh
that's
wait, fucking!
cartoon lore or cartoon Kingdom Hearts lore.
I just had a bad idea.
Oh.
Gakes.
Ah.
I'm the Brexit of gates.
I Zagat.
A Zagat. Instead of zagging them, you just zag it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Bob Zagat.
Hey, if anybody feels extra creative and wants to gift art to Gate here, think about the nobody Gate form and come back to us like
You know what? Please. Actually, I'm not gonna object because, I'm not really super picky with, like, fan art. Uh,
Mhm.
my mom I know some people are like, "Please try to say, like, a little one-to-one with the model." I'm just like, "Have fun with it. Look at me. I'm a fucking goober." I drew myself as a little slime blob. I commissioned myself as, like, a nudibranch slug because the design looked cool. I'm a
Go
fucking
ham.
hand puppet. Just draw whatever. Pinch me as a marionette. Did you see that one?
Oh, no, I actually have I? No, I don't think I have.
Oh, let me pop that over to you. But yeah, no, just like if anybody does draw like fan art of me, I have my like art tag on Twitter, and you can also like use it over on Blue Sky, I guess, because I'm on both.
Mhm.
Um, but like yeah, just like I would love to always see art. I love and appreciate artists. Artists are the reason why I exist. So, like, that's I totally will take anything and everything. I have like a slideshow where I showcase a lot of art, stuff I've commissioned, stuff I've gotten. And it doesn't matter the quality.
The YouTube crowd are eating good tonight. They're gonna see all of these designs plastered up, and everyone on Spotify or wherever else is gonna be like, "What? But I didn't get to see it."
Sorry,
Subscribe to the
folks.
YouTube.
I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a very visual kind of person. Although like writing is like one of my main things and I'm sort of semi-eloquent as far as like my descriptors go. I do like providing visual. I like making people like understand kind of like metaphorical symbology through like
Hmm.
vision and stuff. Which is why whenever I like describe things, I have that type of I have that type of undiagnosed autism where like when I describe something to someone, I go into like really niche hyper detail explaining like as a very specific scenario where people are like, "That's extremely specific, but oddly, I understand what you meant by that."
Hmm. Yeah, it like hammers out all the things like from touch to feel to sound, and it's to some people like the uninformed or the uneducated, it would be too much like unnecessary detail, but very important when it comes to the understanding process.
Yeah,
Hmm.
gotta have that sensory overload of understanding.
I mean, yeah, that is the feeling. All right, as we wrap up with the lore questions here, I must bring you into the next section, which is my personal favorite. I have donned the name upon it, hypothetical theoretical. We
Oh,
all knew
dude.
this was coming. This is the highlight of the show, I guess. And
This is where we, do the musical cue that you've definitely set up.
mhm. And yeah, the hypothetical theoretical. Gate, hypothetically theoretically, what Mario character gives the best head? This comes from yours truly, of course.
Uh, I sort of answered this in the Discord, but I've had some time to ruminate, to marinate.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna have to say, uh, Piranha Plant, because I think Piranha Plant only knows head.
This is true. I mean,
Like,
what form? What
what's
form
it
of
what
piranha plant though?
I'm talking about the one in Smash Bros.
The PD piranha?
No, 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 the
Okay, the
playable one.
character. The character.
The
Okay.
yeah, the actual Piranha Plant in the pots.
Okay.
Like, what's it gonna do? It can't do anything with those leaves, they're too flimsy on a friction. It's all lips, it's all tongue.
I am so surprised that nobody answered with Birdo. Like that was my first initial thought was
Mm,
Birdo.
you
Uh,
so here's the thing, here you'd be mistaken.
uh-huh.
Birdo is not like Yoshi. Birdo doesn't, like, uh, do the tongue thing. Birdo just, like, only exhales eggs.
I
Also,
guess.
there's not enough to, like, suction. It's like it's too tubular.
You don't know how much Birdo can close their mouth.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've seen some animations of Birdo's mouth.
Yeah, like it, ah,
Also, there's no tongue.
fuck, you're right. Damn it.
That's like head is like 50% lip, 50% tongue.
Just a little bit of teeth. Just a little bit of teeth.
That's why piranha plants.
Okay, I'm starting to see you have a very valid argument. I agreed with Revi in the channel that Vivian would give pretty good head as well, but Piranha Plant, yeah, I'm gonna have to give points to Piranha Plant for this
Hmm.
one.
I originally said no, for people who are interested, I originally said Nabbit because I thought this guy knows how to do a quick suck and grab job. Distract you with some awesome head and then just like get your wallet afterwards.
What's it called? Like sloppy something? It's like is it just sloppy head? Like
Sloppy toppy.
yeah, sloppy toppy, just really fast. Like right in the bathroom, right out. That's it.
That's it. Hey, where'd my wallet go?
Fuck, you got me again.
Uh, then I also thought about it a little bit later. It's like, you know what? I have to say my wife, Lady Bo. I love her.
Yeah, that is a pretty good answer.
You know,
Not Miss Flurry?
uh Miss Flurry is very like motherly. I
Okay.
think I just like Bo because I know that she'll kick my ass as well.
True. Oh my god,
She'll add a
yes.
little ball busting with the fan there. She'll give you
It's
she'll give you a good old whack 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 as you charge her.
yeah, maximum whatever the name of that move is, max charge every single hit.
It's like fan smack or something.
Yeah, it's TAS input.
Oh god. Tool
Oh.
assisted tool assisted fan smack. My balls are like grapes being crushed.
I'm just thinking about Sushi, the name of the partner from Paper Mario.
Oh, the gilf.
Yeah. Where they fucking like the on the you know the name of the cloud boss. I always forget his name.
Oh yeah,
Um
Puff Puff.
yeah, Puff Buff. The on like TAS, if you do frame perfect inputs and get every part of tidal wave maximum, and he already has all of his little spawns around him, it just flat out crashes the game on
Yep.
N64.
Yeah, it will completely destroy the game because there are too many enemies taking damage all at once.
I want head that feels like that. Brain crash.
God. Another honorary runner-up,
Mhm.
Mimi from Super Paper Mario.
Oh yeah.
That's just because I know she's also a ball buster.
100%. She'd rip you apart, just fucking tear you limb from limb, and I would still do it.
Hi, my name's Gade. I'm a masochist.
All right. Well, great hypothetical theoretical. I think we've really illustrated exactly what it means to be an 18 plus Mario character.
Hell yeah.
I have a tradition on this podcast. I like to ask the big three questions. The questions that always carry on. They're the most important because they impact future episodes potentially. Are you ready?
Okay, go for it.
If you were a drink at the bar behind you, what drink would you be and what would you call yourself? And this can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
I think I'd be like a variation on a dark and stormy.
Describe that to me.
Oh my god, you're gonna make me look up alcohol. So a dark and stormy is a cocktail. It's a highball, and it's usually made with like dark rum and ginger beer, served over ice, usually garnished with like lime. Um, so I would think that for this, it would just kind of be like it's normally like a ginger beer on the bottom and then like topped with the rum, so it looks like a storm cloud over like a clear ocean. It's
Mhm.
called a dark and stormy because of that, like, visual contrast. I think I would, like, do it, sort of, like, inversed, where it's like, the dark realm would be, like, on the bottom. It I actually don't know if that would work now. If somehow,
'Cause of
like,
the weight.
if we can, like, break the rules of, like, drink mixology and all that, I would
Mhm.
like, somehow, like, the dark on the bottom, and then, like, the light on top, and just call it, like, I don't know, like a respite's light or something. Kinda like having, again, like, that weariness that, like, weighs you down. Everything's, like, sunk to the bottom, and then you just kinda, like, look up and you see, like, this lightness, and, kinda, like, served I don't know. Lime seems like it would work, obviously, with rum. I think, like, a sprig of mint to kinda, like, show off, like, the treehouseness.
Okay. Yeah. In the real world, I don't think this would work
It
because,
physically will not work.
yeah, the separation of liquid, but
Luckily, we're VTubers.
yeah, anything can be possible. Alright. And the third question for you. This one is something that this is brand new, so you're the first one to experience this. You suddenly find yourself at a bus stop, and standing next to you is someone you recognize. It's a much younger version of yourself, but they don't recognize you. Maybe they're your past self without, you know, for some reason you just time traveled to this place, or you are just in a simulation, a dream. But without revealing who you are, what advice would you give to them to help guide them a little better through life?
Hmm. Gosh. Oh my god. What would I
There's a
say?
lot.
Yeah, I know. Trying to think. Like, what do I actually want to tell myself? It's all right to speak up. It's it's all right to speak up to people. You don't have to, like, worry about hiding or anything, because I do also still have some of the problem, like, even now, but I had, like, a lot of anxiety, so a lot of my, like, defenses were let other people talk, let, other people kinda, like, take the lead, and then I just play, like, supporting character.
Mhm.
So, I think being able to tell myself that it's alright to speak up will make, like, a lot easier as far as, like, like, getting through some, like, troubles, like, realizing, "Hey, you're fine. You
Mhm.
can say something. You're allowed to say something. Like, you don't have to stay quiet."
And then you step on the bus and head on your merry way, and then you're back here.
How dare you time travel me without my consent?
Sorry. This was an experimental question. I just wanted to test the waters on it because I like to learn about the my guests' most deepest thoughts. Not the darkest thoughts, but the deep thoughts and what you would tell yourself in those situations. It's kind of
The
like a
darkest thoughts
branching.
are for the second podcast.
Yeah. Come back on what's another like word that a string of words that has the two beginning same letters?
Um,
Deep depression.
Deep depression. Come back on deep depression.
Yeah, and we No, I'm not a
The
therapist, but
the dark dive.
it helps me get a good appreciation for, the people that I have on my show. So,
Yeah.
that is all of the questions I have for you today, Gate. How you feeling?
Ah, I'm feeling bent.
Pretty bent, maybe a
I'm
little bit
feeling
of
pretty bent too.
wrong?
If this has been too wrong, I don't think I wanna be been too right.
And we cut the video
Ah,
right there.
this is only for the video people. I'm sorry, Spotify listeners, you cannot see my expressions. This is
Well,
this is half a visual medium, half a auditory medium.
yeah, what did you expect with us being VTubers after all? We're expressive, we're moving.
Gotta love split mediums.
Well, Gate, this was a wonderful experience. Thank you for being on with me today. Before we go,
Mm.
would you please shout yourself out? Tell us where we can find you.
My name is Gaitsnipe. For those of you who are listening auditorially, that is GIATSNIPE. I am literally that everywhere. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky. And that's generally where I post. That's generally where I stream. I do have a VOD channel. You can look up Gaitsnipe VOD channel. That's literally what it is. That whenever I remember to actually like upload stuff on there, that's where you can see videos.
Big mood.
Uh, I'm gonna try to get better on that. But that's primarily where you can find me everywhere.
Okay. And there you have it, everyone. As we close it all off, Gate, do you have any final parting words of wisdom for our viewers today?
Remember, folks, just because somebody asks if you're a close species doesn't mean that you are.
There you go.
You said words of wisdom. You didn't say it had to make sense.
This is true. This is true.
Take that as you will, folks.
Yep. And for everybody else, we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Later.
Peace.